Ice Spike's biome is one of the most difficult to survive. It has no food, no trees, and no animals. And I'm going to survive for 100 days in a world of nothing but ice spikes. I won't just survive. I will turn this world into an oasis. But first, I need to look around and see what this world has to offer. There's a cave here, and it's pretty big. I see coal and iron ore in there, but I'd better take a look around for a while. I feel like I'm in the Antarctic. I've never been there, but that's what it would look like to me. I need to get some dirt, because I might need it for my first dirt house. I couldn't find anything else of interest, so I went in search of some wood. You see, the only way to find wood in the world of ice spikes is to go into a mine shaft. And in order not to look for 1,000 years for this mine, I used a seed in which I already know its coordinates. By the way, the seed of this world you will find in the description. I'm at the right coordinates, and it remains only to mine a huge number of blocks. Oh, I've got it. Finally. Now I can get a little bit of planks here. Oh, so I can get the torches too. The wooden pickaxe is ready. Then I got the stone and made myself some stone tools. I also got some strings that will be useful to me in the future. On the second day, I went to the surface, but I found an underwater cave where I decided to mine resources, after which I melted iron, from which the first thing I made was a shield. The iron pickaxe is also ready. I also made myself an iron axe, which is very good against mobs. Only the second day and such a success. I think it's very cool. And my first meal will be a fish I'm about to catch. Really? The first fish is a puffer fish? I don't need it. None whatsoever. On the third day, I ate fish. Threw out the puffer fish. I hope I never see you again. I'm finally on the surface. Is that a broken portal? And I'm flying on a boat. Whoa. I got a little carried away. And in the chest, I found gold pants, which I put on right away. I saw a stray. And so began my first night on the surface. There's a lot of enemy mobs already spawned here. Oh, zombies. I can kill zombies. And there I was, killing my first monster. And then I managed to kill a stray, too. In the night, I dug my first semblance of a house. On the fourth day, I dug another floor to my house. And the third floor, I also dug. Using the strings from earlier, I made a bed. And now I'm going to pour water where we'll have a farm. I don't know yet what I can get for growing, but it will be a bit of preparation. At night, I went to farm mobs because I need potatoes or carrots from zombies. Without getting anything, I went home to sleep. Day 5. It's been a full 5 days that I've been surviving in this world of ice spikes, and it's time for me to get my first tree. But before that, I fished to get some food. Then I went to a cave where I saw a mine, where I got some more planks. I also got my first diamond, and I made a portal to the Nether as a speedrunner. On the 6th day, I made a flint and steel and went to the portal. I was lucky enough to land in a warped forest, where there's a tree that I got. I also got shroom lights since I don't have that many torches. And I've got almost a stack of warped wood. That should be enough for me for a while. At the end of the 6th day, I mined some diamonds and a whole vein of iron ore. On the 7th day, I crafted a diamond pickaxe and a full set of iron armor. Night fell and I can go zombie farming for carrots. This is a carrot? I got it from the first zombie. Finally, I can finish my farm. With bone meal, I grew these carrots, and a full-fledged food source is complete. On the morning of day 8, I heard a scary sound. Is that a zombie? He broke my door down. Well, that's something worth avenging. Now I want to make an enchanting table, for which I need a book and diamonds. First, I got the diamonds from the mine. On day 9, I made a fishing lodge, and I started fishing, hoping to catch the book. I fished like that for 2 days, but I didn't catch the book. On the 11th day, I decided to have some fun and went traveling around the world. When I climbed the ice spike, I saw a broken portal. There was nothing interesting in it. Then I ran past some grass, which I didn't even notice. I mean, really, it was right there in front of my face. During the journey, I found a rabbit. And it turns out there are some animals here after all. The next day, I found sugar canes. There are rabbits again. We'll have to catch them someday. I went back home, where I made a sugarcane farm. Day 13, I decided to see if the shroom light would defrost the snow and ice. And it didn't. So I mined all the snow and ice, and put the shroom lights in there so they wouldn't get snowed in a blizzard. Then I made a little pond with fresh water, and plowed the ground so there'd be some kind of grass. The first warm island is done. I enlarged it a little bit right away. Then I redesigned my shelter. The next day, I went looking for diamonds. Once I had enough diamonds, I crafted myself a full set of armor and tools. Now I need to make a mob farm for a lot of different resources. On day 16, I got trees in the Nether. I made a place to farm the mobs and built the farm itself. It took me about 40 minutes, but you can literally see the process in seconds. On day 19, I put torches on the roof of the farm to keep the mobs from spawning there. And here comes the first mob. Okay, I'm going to automate this farm with a campfire. For that, I'm going to head to the Nether, and there has to be a soul sand around here somewhere. Oh, a bastion. By the way, we have gold blocks here. These piglins are genius. They solve the problems of fighting for me. Ouch, yes! Gotta be careful heading this ball. Oh, cool, I got an achievement. Now I can get the gold bricks. It's the soul sand. I'm literally gonna get a little bit. On the morning of day 20, I added hoppers and campfires. Now this mob farm is automated. Then I expanded the sugarcane farm. In the Nether, I saw an enderman holding a block of nelium. Since I needed that block badly, I had to kill him. After the warm island, I cleared the area. I placed this block of nelium. Next to it, I added a nether rack, and with the help of bone meal, I expanded the territory of our nelium. At night, forgetting all about the mob farm, I went to farm mobs just outside for bone. bones. On the morning of the 21st day, I expanded the Nelium Island with bone meal, but unfortunately, the mushrooms did not spawn from which the trees grow. But then I remembered that these mushrooms can be simply harvested in the Nether, so I planted the mushrooms and grew them. And thus we had the first tree in the world of ice spikes. To make the mobs on the farm better spawn, I made a ladder up. In this way, it cuts off the spawning of mobs in the caves, and they spawn only in the area of only this farm. By the way, I remade the place for farming a little because I still need to get the zombie villager. In fact, the world of ice spikes looks awesome. And here's my tiny little warm island with this one tree. By the way, in this world. I returned to the bastion on day 22, after which I defeated a gang of piglins and looted chests, one of which contained a smithing template and quite a few bone blocks. On the 23rd day, I increased the island of warped forest. After that, I mined a tunnel upwards in the Nether. I found the highest point and then teleported on the bedrock roof. On the roof of the Nether, I immediately made a portal to return home safely. The next 2 days, I collected various resources for the Hoglin farm. On the 26th day, after collecting all the resources, I went to the Nether to look for the Crimson Forest biome. Okay, I found this biome, and let's build this farm. And I also need to build a ladder up so that mobs only spawn on this farming platform. Whoa, there's some hoglins spawning up there, but they're not falling for some reason. Well, I'm going to have to kill them anyway. By the way, in the chests, we already have the first leather and meat. After that, I farmed those hoglins. On day 27, I made an enchanting table. After that, I enchanted my tools somehow. I need more bookshelves for the enchanting table, so let's plant some more sugarcane. The next day, I went in search of a golden apple somewhere in the broken portals, since I really need my villagers. That's a lot of rabbits. They'll have to be caught at some point. The world of ice spikes looks amazing. Where else in Minecraft will I see such a huge ice pillar? And here's my first broken portal. The load here is not good. There's another portal in the chest with a silk touch hoe. That's what I need. By the way, every time I see a broken portal, I make sure to take gold blocks from it. I didn't realize there would be mountains this big in this world. Another portal with absolutely useless loot. At night, there's also mobs spawned near the portal. And as always, there's no golden apple. There's a cave with a mine in it. By the way, I can find the golden apple in the chests of the mine, so I need to get there carefully. Zombie, let's get you flying. Come on. Aw, man, he survived. Here. Oh, that was nice. Oh, wow, first chest. A name tag and a lot of different seeds. Man, that's a cool chest. Oh, what's the oak tree? That's a must-have. Well, we've got a spawner in here, too. In one of the chests, I found a very useful enchantment, looting 3. And in the mine, I managed to find 3 golden apples, after which I went home through the Nether. And to cure the zombie villager, I still need a potion of weakness. So on the 31st day, I went in search of a forest in the Nether. Unfortunately, I didn't have much luck with the forest, so I spent 3 days looking for it. And so on the 34th day, I found the fortress. And since I'm in the fortress, I can loot nether wart and soul sand. Then I farmed blazes for quite a long time, because I will need blaze sticks to kill the dragon. On day 35, I came home. The next day, I placed soul sand and planted nether warts. I also made a brewing stand. I got mushrooms in nether and crafted a fermented spider's eye, which is exactly what I used to make my weakness potion. Day 37 started with some mob farming, because I wanted to get my zombie villager after all, and cure him. Day 38, and this is how everything I've set up looks. Meanwhile, I'm still farming mobs. That's zombie villager over there. Let's release him gently. Now I can cure him. Okay, now I need a way to keep him out of the sunlight. The only way to make it is to cover him with blocks. Stay where you are. Come here. And we're going to build you up nice and neat. Okay, all right, we got him now. All we have to do is wait for him to cure. Here's the first villager of the world of ice spikes. I put him in my fishing cabin. I also gave him a profession as a farmer. He's not selling the right stuff. Then I'll just change his profession real quick. And oh, nice, carrots. This is the carrot I traded to get the first emerald. And I need these emeralds in case the wandering trader shows up. That same day, I decided to improve my path to the mine by adding stairs instead of the usual blocks. The next day, I increased my mob farm so I don't have to wait long for the next villager. On day 42, my farmer decided to bathe in his private pond. That same day, I cured my second zombie villager. To celebrate the recovery of the population of villagers in my world, I decided to increase the warm oasis. But this oasis has a small problem. There's no grass at all, and it's impossible to get grass on this world. Or is it? And to find out, I need to get elytra by killing a dragon, so I can fly around and find out if this block of grass is here or not. And the first thing I need to do is enchant, but just an enchanting table without bookshelves doesn't work for me, so I went out to farm hoglins for leather, and it took me a whole day. On the 44th day, I mined sugarcane and crafted the first bookshelves. I moved the enchanting table outside and added bookshelves to it, but that's not enough for me, so I increased the sugarcane farm a bit. And while I'm waiting for the growth of the cane farm, I went to farm mobs for arrows. At night, a chicken suddenly spawned on the mob farm, which I quickly took out and threw into the boat. After that, I was even more eager to farm because I can get a second chicken. Day 48 was completely spent farming mobs. At the 46th day, I added books to the enchanting table. By the way, this day, for the first time, I was attacked by phantoms and went to sleep. The next day, I added the remaining bookshelves and the enchanting table is completely done. But since I had everything broken, I went to farm some diamonds first. On day 50, I crafted a new armor and enchanted it. I'm sure now I'm ready to fight the dragon and not die from him in my hardcore world. But first, I need to farm some end pearls. Day 52, and I'm fully prepared to slay the ender dragon. Okay, and the first eye of the end is going. I need to go somewhere in that direction. Please don't break. Oh, thank you. I still need to keep going. Okay, and right around here somewhere, there should be a stronghold. I got to the bedrock and nothing. Well, let's go a little bit around somewhere else. And here's our stronghold. I don't really like the way the strongholds are built because it takes me hours to find this portal. And in the chest we have apples. That's cool. I found the portal. I'm going to add my eyes to the portal. Day 53, and I'm about to face the toughest boss of all. And the first thing we have to do is break end crystals. Oh, so okay. Thank you. Well, I think I've destroyed all the crystals so I can kill the dragon. Oh, I got it. I killed it. Then I collected all the experience from the dragon and took its egg. Every time I survive, I take his egg. He must be very unhappy. I went in search of End City. The 54th day, and I found the End City. And I hope there's a ship there too. And here's another End City right next to it. I see a ship in it. After that, I went to clean up the End City. In one of the chests, I found a smithing template. And in other chests, I found a lot of different items. On day 55, I went to the ship. But a shulker shot almost sent me flying into the sky. Going into the ship itself, I killed the shulker and got my first elytras. With these elytras, I went straight into the portal. On day 56, I crafted myself some fireworks. I went in search of a block of grass that I needed so badly. During the search, I managed to find a couple of broken portals, but at night my elytra almost broke and I returned home. The next day I decided to catch my first rabbits after all. Oh, here's my first rabbit. We're going to take him home and tie him up. I need at least one more. There's got to be another one around here somewhere. They do spawn around here quite often. Here's the one trying to get away from me, but you failed. I also took the second rabbit home and tied him up. And to name these rabbits, I went iron mining on day 57. On the 59th day, I decided to look at the rabbits who were having a great time jumping up and down and looking at me. Damn good. Meanwhile, our iron had already melted down. Oh, and there's an anvil. And with this anvil, I can now enchant my tools and armor for mending. The first thing I did was to make a lectern block and gave the profession of librarian to the villager. On day 60, I changed the villager's profession so that he could start selling the mending book. Well, I did it. And all I need is 10 emeralds. And I don't have any emeralds in my chests. I guess I'll have to trade carrots again. And those carrots can be sold. And the first mending book is bought. And the second one, come here. In End City, I've got some interesting pickaxes that I'm going to combine, and I'm going to get an incredibly OP pickaxe, and I'm going to enchant the sword for mending, and I'll enchant the elytras for mending too. So we have a wandering trader. He's selling a tropical tree sapling. I need to get emeralds to buy that sapling. Has he disappeared? But I can hear him. I wonder if he's in the cave where I mined coal. I must have a looting book at home somewhere. And on the anvil, I can enchant my sword for looting 3. Okay, let's trade. Now I can buy the first real tree. Not that the warped tree isn't real, but it's still a mushroom. The next day, I grew my first real tree. Then I mined the leaves with a pickaxe for luck to get more saplings. Then I tried to grow a big tropical tree at once, but for some reason it wouldn't grow. So I moved it to a different place, and I grew just a huge tropical tree. It looks really cool in this world. I'm definitely going to do something with these rabbits someday. This day, I finally got around to crafting myself some shulker boxes. On the enchanting table, I enchanted myself some books. And now I have my sword also enchanted with swiping edge. And I also enchanted the elytras for unbreaking. Well, such a tropical tree I have not seen yet under the snowfall. It looks just gorgeous. In the evening, I crafted a golden carrot. After that, I flew again to look for a block of grass. This search was fruitless. But for the next day, I remembered that I had once seen a piece of grass. I found it and tried to extract it with a silk touch tool. No, it just broke. Then I crashed the game. Then I reopened Minecraft, but unfortunately, my world had already been saved and the grass was completely broken. That's the kind of thing I've lost. And I spent the whole day looking for a block of grass or the grass itself. At night, after an unsuccessful search, I returned home. I only have 2 villagers and I need to fix that. To fix it, I spent the night farming spiders. After that, I made a 3rd bed. On day 66, I built up the pool that the villagers had. Then I gave carrots to the villagers and they started to fall in love. And for some reason, they didn't want to give me a baby villager. Since they didn't work out, I need to make them a new huge house. And for this huge house for the villagers, I started to collect different resources. On day 67, I found a skeleton spawner, and in one of the chests, I took 2 name tags. And with the help of these tags, I named the rabbits Chippy and Choppa, and then I gave them each a carrot, and I had a baby. For the next 2 days, I farmed resources for a new house for my villagers, and that house is going to be near my warm island. So this is where I need to do all the digging. I I need a new shovel. What? My rabbit died. From where? Chippy and Choppa here. No, Chippy Choppa's baby fell. In honor of this sad news, I dug him a grave. I put a chest in which I stuffed what was left of my rabbit. Buried it all in the ground. I put a sign on the rabbit, and unfortunately, it remains nameless. Where's the Chippy? He's just jumped to the floor below. But the way it looks, it's a little too much. After that, I shoveled the ground for the nameless rabbit so it wouldn't get snowed in. I'm very thoughtful. And let's keep leveling this area. Okay, and now I have to dig up all the ground and it's taking a long time. I need to re-enchant my shovel. And here's my enchantment with an efficiency of 4. That's much better. And finally, this area is completely clear. First thing I did was build an entrance. At least I thought so. The next day, I continued to make an outline, but the area was too small, so I did a quick cleanup. After that, I continued to make the outline, but it was a little wrong, and so I broke the previous one. Basically, the house is much smaller than I thought it would be. But on the left, there will be some area for gardens and maybe something else. And I spent the next 5 days building this house. And while it's being built, you can like and subscribe to the channel. Well, the house looks really good. But the interior, there's still a lot of work to be done. Wandering trader, what are you selling? Well, there's not much in here that's useful. The next day, I bought a couple buckets of fish from him. After that, I went on with the interior, but I quickly ran out of resources. So I went to the Nether, where I mined wood until my axe broke. On day 82, I bought a book on mending, and enchanted my axe with top enchantments and also added mending enchantment to it. The next day, while repairing my axe, I saw a zombie villager, and after I took a golden apple and a potion of weakness, he disappeared. And near my portal to the Nether, a slime spawned. There's definitely a slime chunk around here somewhere. What's a drowning doing here anyway? This is the first time I've ever seen a drowning in the Nether, and I need to mine some warped wood. Okay, I have 3 floor variations, and I personally like this one the best. And you can write in the comments which floor variation you'd like, and the floor will be ready in exactly 1 second. This wood has a very strange sound to it. It's like I'm walking on rubber. I did the second floor of this house with planks. Then I made a normal ceiling, and the initial interior is ready. The next day I added a fence so that the villagers could not escape. I also added different lighting sources to melt the snow here. On day 87, I made a bed and planted carrots in it. I also made a mini enclosure for the rabbits. While trying to take the bunnies out, one of them died. First I brought Choppa back home, and then I buried Chippy. What a hard life rabbits have in this world. That's where the soul lanterns come in. The next day, I went looking for Chippy 2. Here's my bunny, his name tag. I don't have a lead. Don't run, please. I'll make you a lead. Stop, please, bro. Oh, Chippy 2. You're serious. Chippy 2, rest in peace. I must have gotten into the blocks by now. Why they're so twitchy. But before I go for Chippy 3, I need to level up the librarian. I spent the whole 89th day upgrading the librarian. And at night, I bought a name tag from him. On day 90, I found Chippy 3. I took him to his new home and bred my bunnies. And then I went to grow carrots because I need to buy another name tag. And while growing carrots, I learned that you can grow seaweed. And on day 91, I tried to do it in the ocean too. I mined it with scissors. But as it turned out, there was nothing else I could do with it. And then I named the 3rd rabbit Doobie. After that, I bred them again, and finally I will have a Daba. At night, the little bastard ran out, but I finally catch him and give him the name Daba. On day 92, I moved the first villager to his new home. The next day, I put the 2nd villager in there. After that, I grew carrots and gave it to them. And finally, I had a baby boy. In the meantime, I've got my diamond armor almost broken, and it was time to upgrade to a netherite level. The first thing I did was to mine and craft myself some dynamite. I went to a height of 16 blocks. I started mining ancient debris with the dynamite. Then I decided to see how much ancient debris I could farm in 20 minutes. After 15 minutes of farming, I ran out of TNT and got 14 pieces of ancient debris, which is a very large amount. Then I went back to mine some sand to make more dynamite. On day 97, I mined the ancient debris, and at some point I broke my diamond helmet. And when I ran out of dynamite, I mined the ancient debris with a pickaxe. But I still need to mine the diamonds. And since I need to fix my pickaxe, I went to the stronghold to fix it. We must have a stronghold around here somewhere. I was right here the other day. Okay, and it's right here in this tunnel. Okay, I found the stronghold. There's the portal. Okay, let me just dig down so I can tag myself, so I know where this portal is. Okay, and in the end, we're gonna do a little experience farm. And what do we have here is experience farm version 1, where you look at the Endermen and they all fall on the platform. Oh, nice. And then I farmed the Enderman and fixed my pickaxe. On day 98, I went to mining diamonds because I need them for the smithing template and for my new armor. I had been mining these diamonds for 2 whole days. And at night, I duplicated the templates and crafted my armor. On day 100, I enchanted my armor and converted it to netherite. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough netherite for my 1 tool and my boots. By the end of the day, I was admiring what I had built up on this island, but I still had a lot left to do. But the 100 days are coming to an end.